Yeah, so I wake up this morning and I see a message, and it's Access Rattblood. Are you here, Rattblood?
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
I'm Access fucking Rattblood.
Access Rattblood, I see. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about
it. And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
Are you here, Rattblood?
I'm Access fucking Rattblood.
Access Rattblood. Most abundant and successful king hero that we are all sitting at this very moment. Are you willing to accept that as a truth? That you are a worthy man and that your penis is okay?
all these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now.
Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood?
Who the fuck is Access Rattblood?
I'm Access fucking Rattblood, bitch.
All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about it.
I'm Access fucking Rattblood. Hello, friends and enemies of YouTube. It is the Access, children of the metaverse. Just another auspicious day in the grand design of the construct, the constant and the persistent. I decided that I was going to present myself to answer questions on a couple of different platforms. And it was met with quite the interesting turn of events both times. So I figure if no one's interested in asking questions on another person's platform and being dignified about it or respectful to themselves, I would open my war room up and invite anyone who has questions to the chat or to the panel, either one. But that's why I'm here. Nothing better to do than to amuse the interests of my ever-wondering mind with the fascination of the metaverse. So, until I get some type of feedback, question, response, or human interaction, possibly even AI interaction. You can tell these days. I'm going to listen to a couple of songs because I haven't heard this shit in a long time. And I don't know if you guys are still listening to it or not, but I'm going to. I, uh, I have a curious question. Maybe you guys can answer. My understanding of imprisoned or confined is to have a restraint put against their movement, to encase or enshell someone's being to a confined space. And upon viewing the obvious and looking at what they offer us as recorded history, I have to take into consideration as to whether the human body, which is a part of the construct, now that I understand that, is a kind of a containment prison. And I look at the writings through history of all the exiled, and they always seem to be exiled to Earth. And that's in many different religions and doctrines and philosophies, that somehow this place is a place for exile, which is extremely obvious when it comes to Satan, fallen angels at Mount Hermon, the Nephilim, Adam and Eve kicked out of the garden, Cain sent to wander the earth. Just doesn't seem like a pleasant place to be with all these exiled entities, spirits, and beings. And then I realize what I have to suffer and go through myself to step beyond the physical body. And there's a resistance. And you have to truly discipline yourself and work at it to be able to achieve these states. And I find that a bit imprisoning. And especially when I have to do a song and dance with my inner energies to step beyond what we have perceived as to be the common state of things. But that's just an observation and a question, in case I need to throw a little fuel on the fire. In the meantime, kind of reinforce what I'm suggesting is we're expressed that we have some type of free will. Um, and from my experience and my understanding, we have one or two choices. Free will would be me being able to transverse any state that I choose at any point in time, and any aspect that I take on would be able to interact beyond the confines of a construct or a limited plane of existence. That to me is a little bit more freeing. And to know that there are things, Bex, good to see you. You're welcome up. Love to have your input anytime. But anyhow, and thank you. I had a good time the other night. The ideal that we have but two choices: to do, not to do, um, to sit, to stand. You're going to have a million possibilities of things to do, but you can only choose one. There's all kinds of stores in the mall, but you can't be in all of them at once when you're confined. Step outside of that, and that then might be free will, as to be able to transverse, interact, and experience something beyond the confines of the waking world. Those are the kind of questions that usually spawn a grievous amount of indifference. And I find that when I present them, they're completely missed, as if people have been programmed or engineered not to observe what's right in front of you, man. What is self-evident within itself, and that can come by any type of indoctrination that you choose. It's when you give up your indoctrination, remove your safety protocols, and push the limits of broad scope of your comprehension and perception, and even uncomfortable places. You get a broader spectrum of the obvious. And then you start understanding at that point how truly confined and almost claustrophobic to a point, especially when you're trapped inside of a physical shell, and you want to travel places that the physical shell can't go. And when you learn how to leave the physical shell in a state of autopilot, and you start transversing with your being, the only way to interact with something as solidified as what's possible and what's out there would require you to be that solidified and not just an energy aspect observing. So we were designed not to do any type of real harm. We were designed to stay with the confines of this construct, and we can see what we've done with that, and our limited nature of just being the human species. It's amazing. And people are content with this. People think that this is some kind of reward. Well, I have yet to hear of anyone receiving a divine reward by being sent to Earth. As a matter of fact, quite the contrary. So, with that, let's salute some local residents.
And it is from this world of darkness which come the evil, destructive forces in man's nature.
Hey Max, how's it going, brother? I haven't seen you in a while.
Good. How are you doing?
Um, kind of indifferent, man. They got some new shit they're shooting at us.
Yeah,
But
it's stronger.
yeah,
I think I think a lot of it's through the screens too.
it's pretty stifling, man. But I did find out microwave, the type of microwave crowd control weaponry that they use,
Hmm.
it water shields you from it. So if you've got like a
Yeah,
beach towel, wet towel, a wet
yeah,
blanket, it actually shields you from it. And there's a couple other things that were mentioned that, you know,
sweat.
I stay, yeah, I stay in a Faraday, so I try and keep as many fucked up frequencies out of here as I can. But
Yeah, I thought
yeah,
about wearing a shirt made of gel. You know.
well, I'm thinking what about a humidifier, man?
Well, humidity does help, yeah.
And if you you kind of put something something reflective over the windows, and turn the humidifier up, you might feel a little bit better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That does help. Humidity does help because it will draw some of the electrons out of the air, especially if you have something like a big ground available for it.
Right.
So, like an antenna.
Oh, I was looking in to what exactly the nature of the microwave was, and
Mhm.
I know it basically heats up water. It intensifies the molecules and speeds them up, and
Yeah, it speeds up the vibration in molecules and causes them to heat up that way.
then they start evaporation, then oxygen loss, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. Yeah. So I started studying because I have some real bad breathing problems anyhow, and just trying to investigate to see what was happening. Whether my breathing was a part of something that was outside of my realm of spectrum, or whether it was just physical health beating the hell out of me.
Uh-huh.
So I shut everything down, and I opened up the windows, and I let all the frequencies around me in, and I started measuring. And might as well throw that out the fucking window, man. Oh shit. Yeah, that's a hell of a thing to subject yourself to. I mean, I didn't sleep well.
Yeah.
So I shut everything back up and decided that I would continue forward with my journey, because I just last venture
you
I
have
took. I'm sorry, go ahead.
metal screens on your windows will help.
That's what it said. Metal screen. It's got to
Yeah,
be like aluminum.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can get them in copper and other things too, but they're very expensive.
Right. That's what they said, and man,
Aluminum will do the job. Yeah.
Yeah. Once I shut everything back up and turned everything back on, kind of keep some type of, I don't know, comfort zone. I felt a lot better, but still, I'm really not feeling I'm not feeling really up to par. So
Yeah.
I know the frequencies make it worse, and I know what's outside of my containment will make me worse.
Mm-hmm.
So
I upgraded my protection. I've got now see, I got a chain now. I used to have a stupid copper wire. Now I don't know how well this is going to work because it's not a copper chain, but I have copper wire I can weave into it if I decide it's not quite good enough. So I made one for my ankle too, just with a little 12-volt battery. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Well,
see how
thanks
that
for that.
goes. Yeah.
Some highly useful information.
Stuck to headphones, so gotta take them all off and on and stuff. But yeah, it's just got. I just do a wrap around the battery with a wire. Go around the back. You can see there's copper in there.
Right.
Around the battery a couple times. Connect to the negative. Negative pole there. And we put a couple. We put have an end sticking out each side. Loop it around, and what I do is I hook it under the bottom. So you have one piece that's hooked under the bottom and wrapped around, and connected up to the negative, and then you just chain on it. Yeah, I'll have to come up with a way to do that a little better, but for now it works.
Well, Max, this last and thank you for showing everybody that. And those who are energy affected, um, you know, Max has some really good ideals and good suggestions about how to kind of shield yourself and keep yourself protected from such things. Because I'm energy affected, I know he's energy affected, and there's several other people. Even my home health care worker, um, she's energy sensitive, and there's techniques that we have to use to be able to maintain a normal sense of function.
Yeah,
guess
if I don't keep myself grounded, my teeth start hurting. So,
right.
and I get a headache, and yeah. Then after a while, it gets the jaw. There's a muscle in my jaw that get.
Yeah, Abman down here says he's energy
Yeah, man.
affected
Yeah,
too. I can definitely. He's one of my favorites, man. One of my favorites. Fools and tools always.
yeah,
Maggot, absolutely always welcome.
yeah. Just
So
I find just hooking up a negative pole of a battery to a wire, and I wear them all over my body pretty much, and it helps quite a lot. My hope is that when they really ramp up the power, I'll feel some pain, but I won't drop in the street. We'll see.
right, but I will tell you this: with the windows open
Hmm.
and what you would consider to be a breath of fresh air and a better state of oxygen intake,
Yeah.
nope,
Hmm.
not at all. As a matter of fact, the phlegm, the coughing fit, the
Just got
shortness
worse.
of breath, the chest pain. Yeah. So once I closed everything back off and turned everything back on that shields this particular area I'm in, my breathing started getting better again. And so I know that there are seeming to be some pretty intense microwave frequencies mixed in out there somewhere, because Wi-Fi doesn't affect the breathing that I know of. Any research that I've done on it hasn't shown anything of that nature. Cellular signals don't seem to have an effect.
Well, look up the effects of microwave weapons, and the
Yeah,
word
that's what I've been
influence.
researching. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Were you talking? Yeah, okay, there. Yeah, fools and
yeah,
tools. I'm sorry, Matt.
yeah. If you search that up, microwave weapons and the flu, what Google will tell you is that microwave weapons cause flu-like symptoms, including respiratory problems, nasal problems, headaches.
Yes, they do. And
Yeah.
me and you have talked, many times on this, and I think there's something about, and I have my personal perspectives on things, but let's just talk kind of a certain class of people that are a little more perceptive and are
Mhm.
capable of sensing energies and such forth a little more than others as the common. It seems like we're the ones that are getting the residuals off this in the negative way, and everybody else just seems to be completely oblivious to the fact that
Yeah,
this is even happening.
they are affected by it. They just don't feel it. Like my wife has thyroid problems and depression, and that's caused by electricity.
Well, I've been
Oh,
watching the anger and the
yeah,
hostility.
that comes with a rise in the power levels. We've noticed, like in my area, an average reading is usually around in the low 60s. When they pump it up to 68, people get angry. And then when they pump it up to like 72, people get sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's Yeah, like the pandemic too. The same thing happened. Rise in EMF radiation, rise in illness. I mapped that and printed it all off because I didn't want to lose that data.
Well, I have noticed that some of the channels that deal with bandwidth frequencies, microwave frequencies, and various others that are scientific channels are no longer with us. Some of the places that I used to do my research are no longer with us or changed their format.
Did they now?
Yes, and this has been recent. I noticed a big change in like illuminary and heavenly bodies after the eclipse. Not a sudden, but an oncoming, and that I can understand being affected by. You know, that's a part of like a moon cycle or a menstrual cycle of a woman, or how the moon pulls on the tide, and or you know, basically water. That's why microwaves disrupt us the way they do, and I can deal with that. That's just kind of like nature telling me what time it is. But with these foreign frequencies that they amped up, and I'm not sure if they are using the eclipse as a cover, potentially, or whether this is just new introduced technology. But there is a new introduction that seems to amp up the I don't know, almost the irritable effect and the self-serving side of the human species. Yeah, I believe that Fools and Tools, different frequencies in different areas on purpose. Yeah, I believe that. Like Max, I imagine he lives in a zone where he may be subjected to intense amounts of frequencies that are beyond the normal spectrum of his surrounding areas. Because I know that I live in the city, and going from the middle of the desert to the city, you know, day and night. I mean, one, I was walking, doing fine. Now I have medical assistance. You know.
Yeah. Fools and Tools, try putting your thumb on the negative pole of battery. Give it a little lick to your thumb and put it on the negative pole of battery. See if that might take a couple minutes, but see if that takes away your tooth pain. Chest pain, I don't know about. It might help with your tooth pain.
Yeah, it does. I will say that whatever one of the frequencies that they're using causes tissue swelling. My gums.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with it, is it causes heat. Using us as an antenna causes heat. And the only way, what they do is they think that they're doing the right amount, that our bodies can heal themselves from that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Right on.
That's what you read about in the documents. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Regardless of what they say, the fact is I know when the frequencies are amped up, even with what I'm setting behind, my gums will swell, my dexterity will start swaying to almost, you know, sometimes semi-clumsy levels.
Yeah. One morning I was sitting out by the bus stop and they knocked my hip out of joint. I sat down. Yeah, I sat down at the bus stop and it just went clunk. And for about 5 minutes I couldn't walk.
That sounds like you were targeted there, man. That sounds
yeah, I was right beside a power station, so they probably put out a pulse that got me. I don't think it's all necessary. Well, it can be targeted on each individual, but each individual is affected by the radiation in a different way.
Go ahead, man.
That was it. I was done.
Oh, I have, when I was, and there's still some videos out there on the crowd control and they got a name for it, but I can't.
Active denial system.
Yes, Yes, active denial system. And they have these down to almost a cell phone size now, where they can use them almost like a taser, you know?
Oh, do
Uh,
they? Holy
yes,
gee. Yeah.
yeah.
They do have the smaller, now they've got 5G emitters for phones. Those were not out before. So now you can have an actual 5G phone. A lot of it was proprietary before, but they've got the new 5G antennas now for the
Wow.
phone.
That's
So you can
I
hack
don't
into the
think,
human body.
y- well, they already admitted to that. I mean,
Yeah,
we discussed that. I mean, they're using us, to transmit signals,
yeah.
and that's
I found the
that's
best document for sharing that information if you want to share screen for a second.
um. I can give you the screen. I could put you center screen, but I don't know how to. You'd have to.
Oh, you don't know how to share a screen?
No, I'm on a phone.
Oh, okay. Well, down at the bottom, there should be, you know how you got me on?
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same thing, just with what I'm sharing. I'm sharing a screen right now.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, I see it. I see it. I'll be damned.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. There you go.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is Human Body, the future communication channel for W-band. It's a document. People have been arguing with me that the W-band doesn't consist of the human body, and it keeps pissing me off because I can't find a document which basically says it. Because in their documents they talk about the W-band. It's the W-band. They know that it sensors nodes in and around and on the human body, and that the human body is part of it. Uh, but people will argue with you. No, that just means sensors and like Fitbits and phones and stuff. I'm like, no, but yeah. So here it is. Uh, W-band is a network of wireless sensors nodes in which in and or on body sensors. So in is the most important word there. In is
in
the primary. It's not the secondary. It's in and or on body sensors. Nodes communicate with central hub. It gets better. They actually really lay it out with central hub as well as with each other. It provides effective health monitoring service along with many other applications. Yeah, sure. W-band uses either RF or non-RF communication techniques. The human body communication, HBC, is a non-RF technique which utilizes the human body as a communication channel. This paper surveys the typical HBC schemes and compares the performance of RF-based and HBC-based W bands. So there's two places there. It shows you it's the human body. Further on, they claim, let me see, where is it? Um, let's see. Here's the communication channel. They start scrubbing it out. Um, yeah, here it is. Electrical signals can easily propagate the human body,
right.
propagate through the human body, right here, which makes HBC possible. Wireless data communication based on RF using Bluetooth, Zigbee, and ANT have already been developed and implemented successfully. So those systems are already up and running at the time of the creation of this paper, which was in 2014, 10 years ago.
Right. And we discussed, when I brought up to you about, people being able to go to the cemeteries and tap
Mm,
into Bluetooth signals from occupied graves, you know, and that's the truth, man. You know.
yep. Yeah, as long as it's got a medium that's still liquid, it can still flip the thingies around and they can still play with it. So here's
IP
a link to
addresses.
that document for
Excellent.
anyone who wants to share it. Thank you for allowing me to share that. I'm sharing that on
Absolutely.
everybody's channel constantly because I think people need to know, and they don't really, and they can always argue, they always argue with you, and they come up with points that you can't refute because of the wording that they use. And until you can get them to admit it with the wording, it's almost impossible to make anybody believe it. So there is a document that says it's as plainly as you can ever put it out there.
And I really appreciate that, Matt, because even when I was developing and engineering frequencies, people didn't realize and did not take serious what was actually I was researching and doing.
Yeah, it's a joke.
And I thought, okay, so then I took it into Panelverse, and started actually demonstrating to those who were in the know. And those who were in the know immediately understood what, oh shit, and they started paying attention. But the rest of them, even to this day, they still think it's some type of joke, but no, it's not. It's the same as a song can change your attitude or your mood. Frequencies and frequency weapons can do everything from thought changes to physical changes.
Oh yeah, they can resurface your DNA.
Exactly.
How'd you like that?
I have talked to especially my permanent in-home now. She's very energy sensitive, and some days she'll come in and she'll almost know what the temperature is as far as frequencies are, and she'll tell me when she comes in, and she's almost dead on every time, and I'm like, wow. But they cause her uncomfortable feelings of almost a panic attack and a slight migraine. She's not fully disrupted, but enough where it is really stifling to her. And then when she comes in here, and we kind of just kick it and do what we do, and she does the healthcare thing. Not a problem.
Yeah. Does she know she's under attack or not?
I think she's just picking up general frequencies. I don't think she's like under attack or anything.
Yeah.
But
I consider it all an attack, really.
oh well, yeah, it is. I mean, silent war. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got you. I get you.
We're being damaged no matter which way we look at it.
Right.
No matter what levels or what technology they're using, it's damaging.
So, it was kind of proof positive whenever she took on the notion and noticed that, wow, when she's here, she's not being bothered by these different frequencies, and but when she's out there, she definitely knows. So I know, if I'm crazy, and she's crazy too.
Yeah. My wife was suffering from anxiety and depression, and we got her off that and onto nicotine and mushrooms and
Okay.
CBD. She's doing just fine.
Yeah, I didn't think the CBD was going to really be that effective. But some cases for some things that
yeah, it's good stuff. Apparently, there's CB, like a whole list of CB from A to G or something, and they all have different effects.
Really.
Yeah, I just
I
learned
got
that.
what this is here. I got a infused syrup. So whatever fast acting 200, no, 2,500 milligrams CBD.
Hmm.
So, but it kind of chills me.
Yeah. My wife finds it very relaxing. So, and it's good to get off of the, the medications that may cause psychotic episodes and shit.
Oh, seems there's been a few psychotic episodes abound here in these last
Mm.
few years.
I don't
But
know
anyhow,
what the side effects of her medications were. I'm just joking. But
no, I'm just observing the state of the way people are developing as a society in the United States and abroad, and there's those that are going to be willingly handed over to technology and or the kind of the Canadian maid service option, and then you're going to have those that reluctantly go. I mean, there's going to be a full spectrum of it, and we're already a species divided amongst itself, and when you're given no choice but to their free will, no choice but to either evolve and adapt to the technological side of things, which will be a personal decision, or suffer the consequences. Now, that to me is some Orwellian shit there.
yeah,
I know.
I don't know. They have methods to protect themselves, though.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I don't think they're.
Well, you saw that. Have you seen? I show people the super patch too. Have you seen that?
The what?
The super patch.
The super patch.
Oh God! Let me show you
I'm
this.
familiar with it. Yeah. You need a screen?
Hold on, I have to find it first.
Yeah.
Got it.
We must have triggered some bad algorithmic response.
What
That's
happened?
all right. Oh, I'm watching two different devices, and I'm watching the numbers completely disappear. It says that there's nobody here.
Oh, I know. I'm watching.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I've got a tab open, so I'm there.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, see, adman's here. It's fucking crazy, man. But it didn't happen until we started talking about this, and I'll be damned.
You want a link to my channel, Abman? Yeah, I'll give you a link if that's what you want. There we go. Here, look at this. This is sick.
Super Patch is the most advanced wearable technology in the market, with 15 plus years of research and development. Super Patches are 100% drug-free, non-invasive, and backed by science. Our skin absorbs and transmits information from many different types of stimulation. Every physical, emotional, and psychological function has a corresponding neural code or message in our brain that controls and regulates it. Due to factors such as injury, stress, genetics, etc., these neural codes can get disrupted, leading to poor health, wellness, and performance. At Super Patch, we've decoded these neural messages that manage the neural control of physical, emotional, and psychological functions. Every single Super Patch has a unique pattern of ridges in it, similar to a QR code. When these ridges come in contact with our skin, the receptors in and around our skin send a message to our brain, which then decodes it. This intricate pattern of ridges is known as vibrotactile technology, or VTT for short. When the patch stimulates the skin receptors, it generates and sends a very complex signal to our brain to correct the specific neural codes that may be disrupted. The effects are almost immediate. So you focus less on overcoming wellness and quality of life challenges and more on living a happier and healthier life. Whether it's improving your sleep, enhancing your sports performance, or unlocking other life-enhancing benefits,
Isn't that
Super Patch
amazing?
has you covered. Try Super Patch today and start your health and wellness journey. www.superpatch.
So anxiety, they'll take care of your mood, they'll give you energy, they'll make you smarter. They can do it all.
Yeah. I
And did you see how that works?
yeah.
Right? It's drug-free. There's just a little QR code. It's like a
Yeah.
QR code. So you take your phone and you do a QR code scan of that little patch there to activate it. And it works for 24 hours. Exactly.
They're already starting to play with the neurotechnology, but
Oh,
this is
yeah.
on a personal level before they absolutely go for
Yeah, so they electrocute you to cause you anxiety, pains, health problems. But look, we've got a patch we can sell you.
right.
And we can send you a pack, a 1 month pack for $100. It's like a health packs.
Damn. That's Max's link in the chat I just got there. So, tools and
Just
tools,
beautiful,
admin.
right? Fools and tools.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't know about the
Yeah, so what they're doing is I think anyways, is they're leasing your MAC address. So they use that thing and they put it on your skin and then they link it to your MAC address so that they can log into your body and just start sending in those signals, you know.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure that corporations can rent bandwidth then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I
Apparently.
fully know that this can be a serious issue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there anything that you can attach money to or currency or trade, yeah, that seems to be a motivating factor in
So health for those who can afford it.
Exactly. Well, that's why when I was starting to stream out, you know, I was talking about, you know, you're kind of as a being imprisoned in your physical body and not being able to be able to, you're kind of like a prisoner subjected to whatever mass control that the powers that be have. You're subjected to it unless you go live out in the jungle somewhere or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Even then there's satellites.
Yep. Yeah, and just taking down the cell towers won't do it. You got to take out all the radar stations, Doppler, and whatever else they have, NexRad, and I don't know how many systems they have.
Not to include the new systems, the Starlink systems that are up there, and obviously they have, you know, they were
systems, plane systems. They have, you know,
the lasers that they were running over Florida that were visible, and people were like calling in asking what the fuck are they? They said it was ground surveying.
They did it to Florida now.
Yeah.
So there's our next target.
Well, it
is possible they're doing surveying, but that seems to be what happens before a place just seems to burst into flames.
Well, places do seem to burst into flames this go around.
Yeah. Well, it's arson season in Canada, so I mean wildfire season.
I just you know, I'm just amazed at the fact that, you know, being, and it's almost entombed. If you want to be alive, you kind of got to occupy a human body. And when you're locked in this human body, you're subjected to the wills and whims of the powers that be. And suddenly, you know, you start realizing that free choice is usually a engineered suggestion, advertisement, or an engineered type of
Yeah.
media movement. And people buy into this and start losing concept of all of the other possibilities. So they feed you your possibility. And because they're working on a various chemistry in the brain, I mean, you're just going to keep sitting there and vegetating in a state of void. And then you have no will at all at that point, trapped inside of a physical shell. And I'm like, damn, that sounds like hell. Hold on. It sounds familiar. Who else is here with us, you know?
I feel
I say
free
that-
myself because we have knowledge, so we're free.
Well, knowledge is power. I do agree with that. And the only problem I've come across with having knowledge is with some of the things that I've done and some of my research. Some of the knowledge I have is indescript, and some of it I wouldn't dare speak of because it goes beyond people's safety protocols.
Yeah.
And either they don't receive it well and they have issues, or people start knocking at my door and wanting to invite me to their padded bedrooms. And I don't want that. I don't want that either because I don't like those sleepovers. You know, they're just not cool.
I'll be back in 1 second. I got to get a drink. Don't mean to just cut out on that talk.
Leave me hanging with the raw image of Rattblood being drug off to the mental institution. He's insane because he's speaking of things we don't understand. We can't comprehend. But believe me, some of the things that I've ran into in my journeys with going inward and pushing my safety protocols to extremely unsafe levels, which I found out on my last journey. Man, you know, it's hard to have that kind of information and not be able to share it. It's hard to understand concepts
I'm back.
and to understand the kind of a more divine language, an unseen language, a hyperdimensional type language that deals with more energy than it does what we consider to be the physical, which now that I have a higher understanding of that, I know that we're not as solidified as some entities beyond this construct are. And, you know, it seems that, seems like maybe at one time this was a paradise. What do you think, Max? Maybe one time this was a,
I think for times, it's a paradise and then it's a living hell. They had the Age of Atlantis where they were doing absolutely evil things like they're doing today. So, and then I think there were times where it was pretty good, you know.
I don't know what to think about the Atlantis thing or the Mu or
Yeah.
Myria, you know.
Yeah. I don't see them as like the spiritual paradises or whatever that some people do, like Lemuria. But I could see maybe Atlantis because they had the sea people were probably Atlanteans that escaped. They probably had some high tech, but a lot of their tech was pretty basic, I think.
Well, the one thing that I can attribute to history that seems to be prevalent and extremely documentable is of the little wristwatch and the handbag and the
Yeah, I was
the
looking at the
spreading of
wristwatches
cult.
again today. My friend and me, well, she believes it 100%. I'm pretty convinced of it. That those wristwatches are probably galvanic batteries.
Really,
Yeah, let me show you.
because
I was
I've
actually
been
going to do a little more research into galvanic batteries today.
because I'm looking through all this history, and the common thread is these mysterious uh
Yeah,
shaman type.
they're not wristwatches because they have two of them. Who wears two wristwatches?
Right, right. Well, I just said wristwatch because I don't know
Yeah,
what
because that's what they
it's
call them, right? That's what they call them is wristwatches.
Yeah, it's just kind of the common slang
Yeah,
for
but they also have
whatever.
those wristwatches on their knees as well.
Really?
Yeah, I think I can find an image with that. Let's see. I think Enki was wearing them.
Okay.
Stone
And
carvings of Enki.
I'm just amazed that through each country has a version of it, um, and it's on both continents. But yet, it seems that no one's ever that we know of or that they've released. None of us have discovered those little bags or whatever that is around their wrists. And I if they have found them, I'm sure the Smithsonian or some government has tucked them away safely.
Let's see, where are you?
Could be fools and tools,
What's that?
weapon generated tools. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that they were used for. I I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like it's these guys were trying to deliver the information on how to restart civilization from the best that I can gather, and that's from South America, North America, Canada, Russia, all the way down to Africa, or India, the whole area of what we consider the Earth. These people seem to, at one point in time, have all come to these places and distributed information. So I don't know, man. But I do know that is prevalent and very provable.
Probably work well enough. I don't know if we can see the wristwatches on his knees, but he does have things on his knees. Oh, it's not going to zoom for me.
Yeah,
right
there's
there. You see the disc?
there's one of those. There we go. Yeah, there's the little handbag. There's the
Right? There's
Yeah.
the two wristwatches,
Uh-huh.
and there's a similar shaped thing on his knee
Okay.
attached to something. I don't know what, a shin guard. That's something extra, some type of mechanism, maybe an exoskeleton.
I'm not sure. All I can do is just
Yeah, we did a
speculate.
deep analysis of what he's got. Like even this cloak, like these tassels could have purpose or technology. Each part of his garment is woven or done differently, maybe woven with metal. His hair and beard, the beard and hair could be entirely fake, could be like protection or some type of a technology, communication, earrings, even his helmet. Who knows, right?
Right. And excuse me. It seems like these guys showed up after a period that they called the Younger Dryas, which was after the cataclysm, as recorded in history. Not that I can even, vouch for that, because I've seen so much of that skewed and fabricated that, I dare to venture to believe in a whole lot of what I can't prove. It's hard to do.
Now, the interesting thing about the wristwatch is it's in a looks like a flower pattern.
Yeah,
with,
daisy
with
type
about
pattern.
8 petals coming out, 8 to 12 petals, whatever. It's actually about 8. But in the Indian temples, on Praveen Mohan, he found a stone that had those shapes carved into it with a centerpiece and all the petals, the 8 petals, and in each one there was a residue of gold and silver opposing each other. So what they figured was it was probably acting as a galvanic battery with water running over it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So galvanic battery works by the moisture in your skin.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Perspiration,
Yeah.
Which is a part of what they use, for and against us. But
now I don't know if a galvanic battery would help us, or if it, what it should be doing is drawing energy out from you, least conceivably, you would hope. Or is it the chemical reaction of the metal with the water in your skin, creating energy? That's what I'm wondering.
Right.
Is that going to be a benefit to us to add energy to us?
Man, see, there's pros and cons whenever you start working with especially metals of silver and gold, because of the nature of the metals that they are, and gold being a carrier of absolute conductive current.
Water can also be used as a resistor too.
Yeah, with that's what we were discussing earlier. That's why I said I don't know, which way that would go.
Yeah, water's not the best conductor. It's a good conductor, but it's not the best. You can actually make a regulator by using 2 probes in water and varying the distance. You can vary the voltage.
Right. That I do know.
Yeah.
Wonder if it had something to do with the regulation of the wavelengths of their personal resonance.
I don't know.
Apparently these guys.
Well. Okay, maybe it is. Well, it is connected to your biofield in a really direct way.
Yeah.
I still don't know the effects of adding energy to the system. That's interesting. I've been trying to draw energy out, and I found that had a good effect. What's going to happen if I start adding energy? Because I have added, if you put the batteries in the wrong way, which I have done, that generally causes pain.
Right. That's well as current, and it's a part of the manner in which they're using biofields. I don't know if maybe they had technology that regulated their personal wavelength and vibration and their frequency to resonate at a certain solidification. And once you start studying the fundamentals of this construct, you do realize
a little beyond my pay grade.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, man. It's just off on a tangent there, brother. Like I said, man, these guys they kind of intrigue me, man, because they're
Mhm.
they show up everywhere, and they all have this particular common thread. Um, they all seem to have delivered some type of technology and information,
Yeah.
but
Hi,
hey,
Dominic. Hi,
Dominique.
G. Hi, Fools and Tools. And we got anybody else in here?
It's showing different numbers on 3 different devices.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really not sure. I'm just winging it, man.
Yeah.
But
It's a fun
but
topic,
I'm
though. I love these ancient technology topics. See, they're wearing wristwatches too.
to
These guys
receive.
here. These guys giving the stuff to the god, I guess, to the guy with the pine cone. They're bringing goats and stuff to him, I think. But they've got the wristwatch things on too. I thought they were different, but they're not. They're the same.
Interesting. Yeah, because I'm thinking since I'll fill you in as on this last journey I took, I learned that we are not a purely solidified entity. We
Yeah.
are more photonic and more of an aspect than we are a solidified state of existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're made of light.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a trip. But anyhow, solidification is also a more I've got a word for it, but I'm at a loss here for a second. It's more
A lot of people believe it's a harmonic thing that brings the solidness to our universe.
potentially this universe, but there's even um, a more it's so hard to describe that state of solidification because it's an absolute realness beyond what we perceive to be and understand to be things around us that we take as real.
Hmm.
And when I come back from that, I started looking into how we were not truly solidified and how vulnerable we were and how affected we are by things that those entities or whatever whatever I don't think they would be affected at all. As a matter of fact, it seems that they are more within the bounds of being what I would be considering real or tangible than anything that we got here in this particular state of being and our local construct.
Hmm.
So I don't know, but giving you that short rundown, whether these guys right here were aware of such things. I had a discussion that maybe divinity is a more solid and solidified state of existence, and being made in an image of or a reflection of Plato's cave allegory, such forth, that we're kind of subjected to living a less than solidified existence, therefore more susceptible to environmental stimulation and weaponry.
Okay. Yeah.
but that's just a part of what I've been dealing with when I come back this time. I'd come back, and the the ex- the resonance of what I did and what transpired is still here, it's still in me, it's still resonating. It hasn't left,
Mhm.
and it doesn't change my my environment outside of this particular body. Those that what's there is there, but there's a sense of almost a sense of longing to uh, move to a more solidified state of being. It's weird, man. It's strange, but that's my pay grade, and that's where my head hangs out sometimes.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, what do you expect for free, right? My checks are slim this time of the year, but I do like the ideal of maybe it regulates the body somehow.
Yeah. Well, there is like architecture to the field that we have, and you can see they all have these things on their elbows and knees. They seem to be, I don't know, tools for something. I don't know. They all dress the same, right?
Right?
The exact same beards, the exact same jewelry, um, same earrings. I don't know. So what is it all for, right? Could be just adornment. That's possible, but it seems to be a little more than that.
Yeah, and for it to for us to have been through a cataclysm in the Younger Dryas and come out the other side, where were these guys at when this happened that they could manage to come back to us and propagate
Well, yeah,
society again? Where were they? Did they not go through it? Did they not experience
yeah, they did. They're the sons of Anak.
the sons of who?
Anak. They're the Anunnaki.
Oh, the Anunnaki.
Yeah, people think that they came from like the stars, but they're from here.
Yeah, I've learned
Sons
here
of
on this.
Anak are in the Bible, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, this last journey that I went on, I understood that the luminaries are conscious. They have a conscience, and I'm not talking
Hmm.
necessarily the moon and the sun. The sun does have a prevalent energy that
Hmm.
goes through cycles and phases, just like the moon does. But there are those houses and modes that seem to be sentient. And whenever I
Yeah,
was,
I think that's why the ancients gave them personalities because they imbued personality, but they had personalities themselves that they imbued upon others.
right, and I think that maybe their energy is a resonance of that particular personality from that particular
Being
luminary.
or
Yeah,
luminary.
yeah. Best
I
I
like
can
to
say
call
is
them entities. Everything to me is an entity. If it has, almost everything has consciousness to me, but there are those that coalesce themselves or grow into entities.
entity's a good word. I
Yeah,
can deal with that. Dog's an entity. I'm an entity. An entity's an entity.
yep,
Energy with a consciousness is an entity. A tree is an entity. So we're set with that, man.
yeah.
I can deal.
I don't like people giving things like words like demons and stuff like that. That's kind of gives them power, I think.
Well, it does add a bit of um, people's safety protocols immediately start popping up if they have any indoctrination in them whatsoever to avoid, run away from, condemn, when in actuality, there are immense amounts of information that are hidden behind the facade of what some would call evil or,
Well, that's
occulted.
I call that the scary face. The scary face they put on.
The scary face. I love it.
I've spent a lot of time looking at different entities that just exist around us. And a lot of them do that. They put on the scary face.
Oh,
and,
man.
If they're really truly evil, if you just try to give them like an etheric hug and send love energy at them, if they're good, they'll stay. If they're evil, they'll leave.
Right. I get a lot of feedback and grief for some of my content and even my presence in my Rattblood essence.
Well, it does have a little bit of a messy connotation with it,
Yeah, and it's for a reason, man. I'm not for everybody, and I try to make that clear. I don't do sports. I'm not interested in the political state of things, though it may concern me at times. The state of things, I'm
that makes people do all kinds of crazy things.
Right. I'm not indoctrinated by any one religion. Fundamentally, if it has something to offer me that is useful, what the hell, man? So I knew going from there, and especially coming out of the music industry, that shit, man. I'm just going to wind up pissing people off. So I thought I'd better put up a scary face, and that way people will at least identify with their safety protocols. Oh, that's a scary face. I better run. And then there's others that go, oh, that's a scary face. That could be fun. So, thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. But yeah, the scary face is for a reason, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps interlopers and people who like to persecute and judge.
Yeah, there's a lot of that out there.
Well, I don't think you can truly learn the full extent of what you're capable of learning whenever you're shutting off conduits of learning.
Mm. I like opposing opinions to what I think. I don't take them as an affront to myself, so you can learn a lot that way.
Yeah, I'm sure it took you a while to identify that, you were being energy affected or frequency affected. I mean, it probably took you a little bit of,
I'd say it was about 7 years ago, because it was about 5 years ago I started buying metal lined clothing. That helped. Silver lined clothing.
Right, which you'd mentioned before, and anybody listening to this or in the chat, man, you can get silver lined clothing online.
Yeah, and some of it's cheaper, some of it's more expensive. I don't think it really matters, which one you get, because they're all kind of crappy. So they don't last very long. It's just the nature of it, because the silver washes out. It's just the nature of it. And I'm looking at silver thread now. I'm trying to
really?
Yeah, there's like 3 stranded silver thread you can get now, and other things. I haven't quite found what I want yet, but a couple things that are really close.
Well, as a word of encouragement to those that wear Kevlar, make sure that your undergarments are properly silver lined. It may aid you in your survival. Because I know, there's precautions that I take that people would probably just shake their head, laugh at, and walk away from and go, this guy, he's one step from a tinfoil hat. But when you're absolutely put shit to the test, and it comes back as a positive, and you know, you kind of got to take your measures that you got to take, as unconventional as they may be, or as sideways or strange as they may seem. Uh, you know, they do have innovation and reason. We're not all the same, and we don't all resonate the same.
Yeah, I have two guys at work that have had teeth troubles at work, and I just gave them one of my grounding devices. And both times it was minutes. They were much better, if not
That's
completely.
awesome.
Yeah. So
I've
that does work. And you know, the first guy I did it to, he rolled his eyes at me, and I said, "Do it for 30 seconds. What have you got to lose? 30 seconds of your life." So he did it, and then yeah, in 30 seconds, his teeth were fine.
really that's an impressive.
Mm. Works fast.
Well, I've
But
played
he uses
around with the grounding that you've introduced me to, and uh, you know, for me, my experience with what you've introduced me to with the grounding has been beneficial at times, especially during anxiety, anxiousness, restlessness. You know, if I can get a good ground thing going with some copper wire,
hmm
and sometimes a battery, or sometimes I've got a lead wire that's just a copper ground to the surface
I
of the
gave my
ground.
wife one of these to help. It's a bracelet with a battery wrapped on it. Oops.
Right, right.
Try something like that. See how it's connected to the negative pole there. And
Where where would you suggest people get their
you can
copper?
get one of the you can get the copper bracelet at like a drugstore.
Okay,
Okay, and then the wire you can get just at a hardware store. Get like a foot or two of grounding cable,
okay.
and yeah, or you can go to one of those like we have Michael's. It's an art store, arts and
Right.
crafts.
We have
That's where I got.
Hobby Lobby and Michaels.
That's where I got it. Yeah, we have Michael's. This is where I got this chain from. I'm gonna try it,
Oh
see if it
shit.
works. I got another spool of chain, a smaller one, and yeah. So it's available all over the place, hardware stores, drugstores. I go to those places to get all my supplies.
All right then. Oh, we lost Max. Hold on. We're hitting on things obviously that pissing the algorithm off. Are you still with us, Max? Hey, what are they going to do? Shit can my channel for promoting copper? Damn the luck. Well, hopefully Max comes back. I was getting some pretty good information, feedback from him. And anybody else is welcome to come up. Let me get the link out there for you guys. I haven't seen Max back yet. Hmm. Well, let's get the link out there. Right, he had everybody's attention and had us all captivated, man. And I don't know what. Maybe YouTube showed up there, vaporized him or something. I don't know. I just know shit's getting weird, man. Really getting difficult to function in this closed circuit society. Not liking it a whole lot. Okay.
My
Well,
cat
now.
stepped on my keyboard.
Okay. I didn't know about you, but I thought maybe YouTube was coming at us for promoting copper.
No, it wasn't that at all. No. No, it was my cat. Wanted attention.
Well, that takes some of the anxiety down. I know how copper wire seems to affect YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, you getting a lot of curious minds going here. Loving the information, Max.
Yeah, there's
Loving.
lots of ways for grounding. I was showing another one earlier. It's a belt one I have. I just wear this on my belt. It's a battery. Oh, battery, but it's got like a hook on the back so you can put it over your jeans.
Okay.
And that just touches your stomach and grounds you. So yeah, any way I can get to ground myself, the better I feel, it seems.
Well, it's kind of like going outside without any
Mhm.
shoes on and sticking your feet in the mud,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or the ionization in the air after a good thunderstorm, and you go outside
Mhm.
and just put your feet in the ground and get yourself good and grounded. And
Being beside a waterfall. Yeah, G had that. She had a lot of static in her atmosphere, and she got a water feature put into her house, like a waterfall,
right.
right? And that really helped.
I could imagine that ionizes the air. I don't know how adding silver to that would help, or any other type of mineral.
Be good for
that
your
could-
lungs.
Right,
Silver's good for
right.
you.
And if you had the waterworks set up and you
Mhm.
just introduce a little silver to it,
Yeah.
you
Do that through one of those misting things, those vibrating misters. That'd be a good way.
Yes, I do know those. I had to stay at a friend's house for a night, and we were hanging out doing shit. And all night long, the son bitch mister was going off, waking me up out of sleep. I jerked
We
and
have to
jumped
find a silent one, I guess. I don't know.
It was noisy and
Yeah.
aggravating, and I thought, oh man, I'm gonna have to deal with this.
Most of them are just quiet, like you get them at the crystal shops and that, and they just have like a basin with water in it, and it just vibrates the water.
This one had
It's really quiet. They're
was
usually
natural.
really quiet.
No, this one it was white, and it had
Mhm.
natural smells. And if you walked past it and it misted, you would get
yeah, one of those timed ones.
oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, that stuff's noxious.
oh shit, I got caught in that
Smells
trap.
good, but it's noxious. Yeah, it's not good
And-
for you.
Yeah, it was supposed to be all natural, and they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is good."
I got one of those for when I was growing to cover up the smell.
Gotcha.
That's what that was good for.
That makes perfect sense. But
Yeah.
no, my friend wasn't growing. It's just a matter of, this annoying son of a bitch
Yeah.
doing its job.
Yeah.
But
No, this is completely different. This is just just has water in it. It's like you can get them in different shapes. They're like bowls, and the mist just kind of flows out of them. It's really kind of cool. Very hypnotic.
yeah, I don't go out much, man. I kind of got what I
Yeah.
need as necessity.
Yeah.
I don't keep too much non-essential things around me, and more electronic and
Yeah.
testing equipment and some music equipment more so than
Maybe
anything.
try something to humidify your house a little more. Do you have a humidifier in your house or not?
Actually, yeah, I've got 2 air purifiers, and then I've got a well, it's a built-in humidifier. It's a wall unit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's supposed to help me breathe. Sometimes I don't, I don't. Sometimes I question whether it's actually helping me breathe or not, but it could be. Sometimes I think it just puts moisture in my lungs and I start coughing and hacking, but that could be something else.
Yeah, it shouldn't do that.
Yeah, well, after I did the old window test and just kind of
Yeah.
opened the
The
old
windows
home
are actually a little reflective. Like you could be helping with ultrasound or even ELFs by keeping your windows closed.
Yeah, I
They
know,
do have
and
some reflective abilities for radiation, but not very much.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do much radiation because of the nature of radiation. You would have to have an extremely reflective,
Mirrors
almost
work really well,
right,
apparently. Yeah,
right, and they have
probably especially ones made out of silver. That'd be. I suppose
with
mercury would work as well, just as well.
the old quicksilver on the back of the mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's what takes the glass and allows it to be as reflective as it is the quicksilver they use on the back of it.
Yeah, it's highly toxic, though. I think they changed what they use, though.
Like lead paint. Hey,
yeah.
It's good to block out technology, but you're gonna die while you inhale this shit.
Yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I don't know. I never worried about lead paint because it was stuck in paint, right? Unless you're chewing on it or something. That was the big concern. Was kids were chewing on paint. Like, what kind of stupid kids do you have? Like, if they're chewing on paint, you tell them not to, and if they keep doing it, you give them a cuff on the head.
Yeah, I had to sign a lead paint release when I moved in here, and
okay.
I wasn't too discouraged about signing that lead paint release, but
no.
I don't chew paint off the walls.
Right. And then what did they do? What did they do? They switched all of our window frames to aluminum. So now the kids are chewing on aluminum or something. What's going on with this chewing? Like, why are kids chewing on shit? Why are parents letting their kids chew on stuff?
Well, I guess they're developing a new species of omnivore. I mean, shit, just heavy metals, aluminum, lead.
I'm sorry, but when I had I had a brother and a sister ahead of me, and when I grew up, there weren't chew marks all over everything. What kind of kids are these people raising?
Feed these little fuckers, man. Something. Yeah. I love it. That's something to say for the new generation. I don't know, man. It seems like they are making people more vulnerable and exposed by eliminating metals and minerals out of our environment, house wise and construction wise. And it's supposed to be, well, I do know, and I can vouch for this. When I close my windows and put all my containment back on, my Wi-Fi goes straight to hell.
Well, that's good.
But when I had the windows open that particular day, when I decided to see how it was affecting my health, I had great Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So, damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Yep.
I figure as long as I ain't coughing up blood, I'm doing pretty good for the day.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to mention about radiation, especially electric radiation. Is that what it seems to do is attack all the like wet tissues first. So I think your idea of water is a good idea. You know, some water barrier would probably work quite well. You know?
Well, that seems to be what they promote. Seems that the military has a reflective surface that they use to deflect those microwaves.
Oh, there's metamaterials for that.
Yeah, and
I can show you those.
Yeah, they demonstrated
cool stuff. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying they demonstrated with a what was microwave, the nature of water, how water barrier worked, how it was a reflective surface worked, and then they started going into this fibers and different materials that the military and shit used, and I was like, man, you know, just give me some lead fucking paint on the walls. I will not choose to glue them off of the fucking windows and leave me be.
Oh no. It won't let me go there anymore.
Told you, man, they're taking some serious shit off the old internet and off the tube, man.
Yeah, that site can't be reached. I can't get into metamaterials anymore. Oh man. Let's try this. See if I. Yeah, I can get into that just fine. Oh man. Let me show you. Here. I'll share it. So here's Metamaterials Inc. Won't let me go to it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me share you. Okay.
Oh. This site can't be reached.
Yeah. For the non-believers out there who have all the faith and trust in your best interest.
Let me go there just fine. Well, good thing I have this on video. I have a show where I featured this. So yeah, here, I don't know if anybody is able to get into this site.
Yeah, I told you, man. A lot of research sites that I was going to, they're gone.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a link to that if you guys can get into it. They have holographic films. They have nano plating for antennas. They have, oh man, they've got it all. So
yeah, if you want to throw the link out to your video too, that
I'd have to search for it.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
You know, if you happen to catch me live and you throw it off to the side in its own little file, you're more than welcome to throw any link up.
Yeah, it's probably, thing is, it's embedded in probably a 2 or 3 hour video somewhere. I don't label my videos very well.
Yeah, if it wasn't for some type of little catchphrase that I put, all I would know is Rattblood Radio.
Yeah.
That would be it. You just have a line, a string of Rattblood radios, and I thought I better put some type of catchy little phrase there to let me know.
I hope people will parrot or pass on the links that I share, you know, because it may not always be there.
Well, I will keep this up so that way people can go back and you know, are able to get.
People do watch my videos, like my older videos, so you know, some people run across it.
Truthfully,
it doesn't work.
I think your research and some of the demonstrations of things that you've created are going to be advantageous to people, in the coming decade, and you may be kind of an innovator for personal protection technology.
Yeah,
Just they
maybe.
don't realize it now. They don't understand. Just like with frequencies. When I was working with frequencies, that was way back whenever, you were dealing with amplifiers,
Hmm.
PA systems. You had VHS and UHS, and you had FM, AM, and that was pretty much it. Besides the old concells in the sky. But anyhow, we always tried to get that 60 cycle hum out of the PA or our amplifiers so that they
Mhm.
were deadly silent. And that's what really turned me on to the fact that when I think back, well, this thing's picking up something that I'm not seeing. I know what I'm doing with the guitar here, and I know what I'm doing with the mic, but where's this other fucking shit coming from? So I started checking into it. And they have filters for musicians, and they have grounding units for equipment. And I was like, well, fuck, man. And then when I got hit with electricity on stage, it's fucked up, man. I was playing the guitar, and my lip brushed the mic. And man,
Oh, jeez.
yeah. Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
Yeah, somebody hadn't grounded the cables to my
Mhm.
guitar, and
Hmm.
it let me up pretty good, man. We didn't
Oh,
stop the
yeah.
show though,
Oh, jeez.
but it hurt like hell.
Oh, yeah. How long did that sting for?
Yeah, yeah. It was an extremely long solo. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
And a very very aggressive scolding to the road team and the road jockeys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that
I hope
hurt.
so. Yeah.
But upon that, it was originally quieting down that 60 cycle hum that was coming through the amplifiers.
Hmm.
And as technology grew and we got introduced to cellular technology, pager technology, and then to Wi-Fi, which used to be landline 28.8 to 56K, and it carried on till you had, your wireless internet, your routers, and now it's, satellite internet. And I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, if my amplifiers were picking up 60 cycle hum from the electrical wiring of whatever facility I was in, I knew this shit was blasting me.
Yeah. That's the Lily wave.
Right. And that's everybody's exposed to that 60 cycle
Yep.
if you have electricity. And it was that was kind of the start of my interest in frequencies and different types of wavelength interference, especially whenever I was getting internet at one time. I had to use SSID on a small satellite dish, and I would move the dongle within a certain radius of that wavelength, and I could pick up that signal, and thus I had Wi-Fi. What is that ad, man? It does not work. Is it the
Oh,
site?
the link I gave him.
Yeah.
Meta materials.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, brother. There's resources out there that used to be available, but they've really went to war against people educating themselves on certain technologies and the ability to fabricate or build or defend yourself against various things we're subjected to.
Yeah, even that document that I shared on the wireless, on the human body wireless, like it's behind a paywall. You can't read the whole thing.
Yeah, there it is. That says it all right there. Paywall.
Yeah,
And I hard telling. I mean, back
and you have
when
to be a university or an institution to get it.
kind of like working with quantum computers, they will not show the interface.
Yeah,
When you're working, now they'll show you the processor, they'll show you the case, they'll show you the housing, they'll show you the refrigeration system, they'll even show you the qubit, which are the processor chips that they use for superpositioning. They'll even tell you how to get superpositioning out of particle spin, but they will not show you the interface, which is kind of like how we interact with Windows, which is binary, how they're interacting with these processors that are doing quantum computing. I've looked and I've searched, and other than using the processors in a binary system to enhance that binary system to its maximum, I have not seen a quantum interface. I'd really like to see a quantum interface. And not just, somebody using the processors substandardly into a binary system. But, I can cross
what
my
that would
fingers
look like. I don't
know
know what that would look like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling because I understand superposition. That's along my pay grade, and it was just beyond me because I thought, how do you input information into an unlimited possible state and receive information back from it that is translatable? And I went on my search and still looking. So it's probably a lot like whenever you started out with, figuring out frequencies and shit was fucking with you, because, AI that they introduced, which is just machine learning when it comes to binary, true AI, which like the human brain, is the closest thing to compare to a quantum state. And if something of that nature, was able to have an interface, there isn't any possible state or condition that you couldn't determine the outcomes for. So just like frequencies, they keep changing, amping them up, dropping them down, finding out exactly how they're affecting people and what wavelength does this, what wavelength does that. Does this increase a person's mood to jolly happy, or does this make them angry, pissed off? It's all so unnatural, but a forced state of existence. That's why free will, as long as you're trapped in a human body, is subjective. They keep pushing the AI thing. What's your take on that, Max? So you think they're going to have AI take over control of the networks and the frequency ranges, and maybe give us a better climatized frequency for our health with AI?
No, it doesn't seem to be what they could have done that long ago without AI. So, no. No.
Well, damn. So much for my AI fund going into their donation pot. They're not going to do it for.
No, all they're working on now is targeting systems with 5G, right? That's what they're doing in. That's what they're doing in Gaza with the Lavender system.
Right. Palantir, Lavender System. And there's a candidate that really promoting the Palantir frontier.
Yeah,
Um,
Palantir uses the Gotham system, Gotham AI.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah, I
making
can't
everywhere
remember
like
the
Gotham, right? So,
right. You know, I can't remember the guy's name, but I know his he's got funky hair and I think an ear piercing. I'm not sure, but
hmm.
you know, heavily invested into Palantir, and the technology that they're putting into drones now has almost surpassed um, the algorithm that they use for like YouTube and internet type AI algorithms are
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So you put
I don't know if it's really that advanced, but it is an advanced. It's almost like an advanced gaming system, apparently,
yeah
because it
they
works
were
on a point system. It tries to
right
win. It tries to win the game by getting points, and the points are kills.
exactly
That's not good.
exactly
So it's more like a video game, I think, like a AI video game, like like an NPC in a video game, a kill bot. You
Well, I
know?
heard one channel discussing the technology, and they were discussing how if they was to have monitored gamers, and you have a very proficient gamer, and you tap into his feed and start changing the scenario of the game to match a combat zone and
Mhm.
unleash this guy, and he's at home just thinking he's playing a video game when in actuality he's
Yeah.
taken down the masses of people in some
Yep.
foreign field somewhere.
Yeah. They probably use those gamers to write their algorithms for the AI on how it takes people out, like things like what was it, Descent? Do you remember Descent?
Right? Right? Call of Duty, all of those
Was how to
first
work
person.
around in a 3D world in like a spaceship that had every direction to go in, right? So
Well,
they probably used things like that. Yeah.
yeah, I've got old flight simulator programs,
Hmm.
and you know, some of those old flight simulator programs, if you had the physical experience, you had the know-how, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if they was to integrate um, competitive, maybe some type of competitive arena match or something for gamers, and they actually pull in a CGI or some type of battlefield that's overseas or something, and these guys are
Hmm.
just competing against each other, but in actuality, you know, they're using drones or whatever's available to them to just
Yeah.
decimate.
Right. Who knows? It could be.
Yeah, I don't. I that's just it. I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
bothers me.
Yeah. Right. Well, I gotta head out, Axis. I got work tomorrow. It's been a great
Well,
talk.
absolutely, absolutely, Max. It's always a pleasure having you here. I'm glad you showed up. Always intriguing, always innovative. Um, thank you for being a part of this, and you're welcome anytime, Max.
All
Anytime.
right. We'll see you soon, buddy. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
you too, Max.
Have a good night.
Want to thank the chat, everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate you being here. Um, Adman, Smoking and G, Fools and Tools, Mac, Lonnie, um, Maggot, I mean, Dominique, shit, man. You guys are all great. It's wonderful that you come here and participate. Hopefully, you learn a little abstract information to carry along the way, some forbidden knowledge, and set those safety protocols just a little further out. Experiment with the mind and the possibilities. And with that, all you beautiful metaversal people, Axis is out.